Okay, so I've been back from watching Avengers Infinity War for like a good hour and a half because I had to really like reflect. I watched The Flash, did all this other stuff. I ate, and I had to reflect exactly what happened. So this is going to be spoiler free. If you want a spoiler and my like real deep thoughts about this, about everything that happened in this movie, let me know. But this is going to be spoiler free. Now, this movie, I'm telling you this right now, this movie is going to split people down the middle just like The Last Jedi did. It's going to do exactly that. Exactly that. There's no question about it. The last act of Avengers Infinity War is equivalent to the last act of Star Wars The Last Jedi. That's the best way I can describe it. And in all honesty, I was a fan of Star Wars The Last Jedi. I was a fan of the last act of that movie. Yeah, there could have been certain things changed, but yeah. However, the last act for this movie, it like a lot of people are going to be probably even more angry about it, and I can understand why that is. But like the last act, it was epic. Like literally the final moments of this movie are epic and subtle at the same time. And there's one end credit scene all the way at the end. All the way at the end. Yeah, it really shows you like how epic it is on on like the larger scale of it. They'll show you, but and they also tease other characters and all that because you know it's Marvel. They always tease something, but yeah, I was just blown away by by everything that happened. Like I knew some parts had to be put into play, but I didn't know that they would go this far. Like I figured like like in Captain America Civil War, I figured that that movie would be the movie where Marvel would push the boundaries and like really go deep and dark in that movie, and they didn't do that honestly. Like they delved in it a little bit, but it wasn't as what other people theorized and thought. But this movie made you think, like for one, Marvel, Disney, they push the boundaries of this movie. Plain and simple. They pushed the boundaries of this movie, and it was like mind blowing. I got my Captain America shirt on. I just want to point that out now. Like I got my Avengers gear on. It can't be seen in camera, but yeah, it was so. Oh my gosh, it was like you weren't expecting it, and people are going to be mad at this movie. People are going to be mad at this movie. Comic book fanboys are going to be mad at this movie on how Thanos is betrayed. Thanos is betrayed so differently from the comics, and I can understand why. Because if they enter like this is probably going to be the only spoiler thing that I'm going to say. So yeah, but there's no reference to like Lady Death or Madam Death and things like that. There's no reference to her. I'm just letting you know now. So I'll have the spoiler text edited in. Yeah, there's no like. Oh, I gotta see this movie again to really get deep into it, and I'm gonna have other people with me to like really have a discussion about this who've seen the movie. Like I'm gonna have my cousin who isn't really a comic book fanboy like me. I'm gonna have him come in and we're gonna like have a full on discussion about this movie because he's planning on seeing this movie real soon. So the thing about it is I loved and enjoyed this movie like a lot. A lot. I loved and enjoyed this movie a lot. It's just I don't know where it would go from here at all. And then them pushing the boundaries. And with Venom, the thing that I'm worried about most with Venom, because the studios were talking about how like Sony's produced movies are going to be a part of its own universe, with Spider-Man and all that, and not really a part of the MCU, so you can't really see the MCU characters and things like that. Like, I hope for a fact, because I'm not sure what comes out first, Ant-Man and Wasp or Venom, but I hope for a fact that Venom makes a reference to Infinity War. He has to make a reference to Infinity War, because the scale of what happened in Infinity War, it's not like Marvel's Daredevil. Not only that, now that I'm thinking about it, what's going to happen in the Marvel Netflix series? What's going to happen with Luke Cage? How is that going to be expressed? Because the thing that happens, at the very end of this movie is in such a huge amount, is in a huge, huge scale. It's on a huge scale. So this needs to be talked about. This is going to be talked about. It has to be talked about. Plain and simple. Like, I can't stress to you enough about going into this movie. Your expectations will be blown away. You're either going to come out loving the movie, come out scared from what happens next, or come out hating this movie and giving up on Marvel. That's my review on it. That's my impressions on it. You're going to come out of this movie feeling very, very emotional. Simple as that, because they push the boundaries, and anything that you thought you knew, I guarantee you that you're wrong. I guarantee you that you're wrong. You'll probably be right about, like, what, one thing, maybe, but the rest of the movie in its entirety, you're going to be wrong because of what happens. Again, I can't really put into words. I can't put into words. I had to, like, really sit down and think about what I was going to say with this movie. And at the end of the day, I enjoyed this movie. But the sequel, because the cliffhanger, it's not a whole Han Solo being taken away by Boba Fett type of cliffhanger. Luke losing his hand, finding out Darth Vader is his dad. It's nothing like that. This is a cliffhanger to top that. It's a cliffhanger to top all of cliffhangers, because you don't know how they're going to fix the problem. You don't know who's coming in. You don't even know, you don't know. You don't know what's next at all. You don't know. You don't know who's even, like, out there to stop Thanos. Like, you don't know. You don't know what's going on. You're gonna be so unaware of the future of this franchise. You're gonna come in, your expectations are gonna be blown. You're either gonna love it or hate it, but you just don't understand. You just don't understand that this movie right here, this is the movie I have been waiting for since the end of Avengers, the first one. This is and it built up to where, like, I don't know, like, I'm still at a loss for words. There's so much they can do. There's so much they can do with it in this point. But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. You're gonna either enjoy it or hate it. Simple as that. When you see this movie, you're either going to enjoy it or hate it, and your expectations will be blown out the water. You will not know what's going on. You're not going to have no type of fan theories about what's going to happen next. You can try to make some, but at the end of the day, your fan theories mean nothing. They mean nothing. After you watch this movie, all fan theories that you would make when it comes down to Marvel, this, that, and the other, they're not going to mean anything. They're not, because it's just blue expectations. It's no way that anyone could have predicted this. And that's all I have to say. I enjoyed this movie. I will have a spoiler heavy review on this movie if only if everyone wants me to do it. Like, simple as that. If anyone wants me to do it, I'll bring in some non-fans, I'll bring in some actual fans, and we're going to have a full deep discussion about it. But like, yeah, you're not whatever you thought you knew, you're wrong. That's all I can say. You're wrong.